Looking polished, sounding perfect, having all the right answers is kind of what I was expecting of myself in order to really start my online business. Based on what I was seeing, how people were performing, the people I was watching. And that almost stopped me from being able to move forward. But this is how it's changed over the last couple of weeks. My name is Stacy. I'm almost 60 years old, and I am starting an online business through social media and digital marketing with plans to retire next year at 61. Over the last 4 weeks, I've gone from feeling completely stuck and unsure of what I'm going to do to having a plan, feeling a lot more confident, and honestly just feeling really excited. In the beginning, the overwhelm was really real. I had started looking online to learn, and the more that I watched people being successful with online businesses, the more it was coming into my feed. And then I would give my email out in order to get a freebie and find out a little bit about someone's program, and I started getting lots of emails, and pretty soon my feed was just flooded with people who were honestly very successful already, and saying they were millionaires and they were making $50,000 a month already, and I just needed to do a few things or follow their program and I would be successful too. But honestly, it started to become more and more confusing, and I wasn't sure who I could trust. What I did do is I started looking for people who were like me, my age. I looked for women in their 50s and their 60s, and I was really surprised at what I found. I found ordinary women who were out there talking about their stories without the fancy lighting and all the fancy editing. And they had lots of followers. They had tens of thousands of followers. And I was like, wow, okay, there is another side to this. I don't have to be polished as some of these other people I was watching or have these fancy setups. And that started giving me more confidence to moving forward, that I was ready to just get started. The thing that was still missing is that I didn't feel like I fit into everything I was seeing online. I didn't want the hustle and get rich fast. I wasn't trying to get out of debt, or I didn't want to do the angle of the weight loss, or I didn't want to resell someone else's program. So I just didn't know what my niche was going to be, though I knew that I wanted it to be meaningful to me and I wanted it to be something long term. So before I got to where I am today, I did try one thing. I did invest in kind of an expensive program that was supposed to teach me all about like 20 different ways to earn online. And I thought, oh, okay, well, out of that, I should be able to find something that would fit me. Well, once I got into the program, really it was mostly geared towards TikTok, and also very heavily geared towards reselling the program. And inside the program, a lot of the people who were finding a lot of success were reselling the program to get more people in. And I found the chapters on the different types of ways to make an income weren't really enough to give me enough confidence to get started. I understood the basic concepts, but it wasn't enough to really launch out on my own. So I kept looking. I was determined. I kept looking at different videos, watching different people, and one day a woman in her 50s popped up in my feed. It was a long YouTube talking about her success. And it just really clicked and resonated with me. She had her hands in all of the platforms for over a decade, maybe 2 decades. TikTok, YouTube. She had a blog that she monetized through affiliate marketing and through Pinterest, and just really knew all of the systems. And being my age, it just really clicked for me, and I decided she's the one I want to be my mentor. So I started to learn more about every platform and what it took to be successful in all of these different platforms. And one thing that came up one day was doing a blog and how to monetize it. And something clicked for me because I had already started the idea. I already had a shell of a website that I wanted to build out my knowledge that I had gained over almost 40 years of being a social worker and working with seniors navigate the system and navigate aging. And I had planned, or I had just really wanted to get information out there and help families and help seniors. Well, I found a way to monetize that. So that is how I'm starting off with my online business. So what have I done so far in the last couple weeks? Well, if you saw my video last week, I got my website up. I went to the beach. I spent an entire day or two just following a tutorial on YouTube on how to set up a blog website using WordPress, and I was able to do it. So it's going to be a lot slower at this point because writing long articles, it does take a little bit of time. It takes a little bit of research, refining the articles. So I may not be going as fast now as I was in the beginning, but I definitely have a clear path. I will also be on here every week talking about new things that I've learned, ways that I'm doing things. So last week, I want to say that my microphone had been in my shirt. And so I noticed when in the playback that I sound very muffled. And I felt bad about that, but there was nothing I could do. I had already left the beach. So lessons learned there. The microphone cannot be tucked inside your shirt just so you can't see it because you're going to sound muffled. So today it's on the outside, and hopefully this is going to sound a lot better than last week's. But I do plan to be here every week talking more about little things I'm learning because I am going to be branching out beyond my blog once I feel like the blog is going on its own. I plan to write at least an article a week. And once I get that flow going, I am going to be looking into affiliate marketing, the Amazon influencer program, and also probably starting a YouTube page based on things that I'm talking about on the website and the blog geared towards seniors and their family members. So thanks for joining me today. I hope this was helpful. I hope you will continue to follow along. I'm excited to share my journey with you. I'll see you next week.